Meet Natalie. Natalie loves books.
This is your brain on books. Any questions? And this is Angela. She's a very serious jazz singer.
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doop-doop-doo. And sure, we both like to stay informed, but this world sometimes, am I right? You know what we need? 30 minutes of meditation.
Pop culture meditation.
So we're here to remind you.
We get it. You're smart. But right now, take a deep breath and put your books down.
Hello, Natalie. Welcome.
Oh, hey, Angela, that's your spooky.
It's
your
my
spooky voice.
Because we are knee deep in the throes of October.
I mean, yeah, with the airs. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, thanks for giving it away to everybody.
Well,
that
I'm
we're
not.
actually-
I'm not trying to deceive. We're not,
trying to be as open as possible, but
But
you got to let
also-
the magic be there.
Your spooky voice is very jazz singery. It's very nice. It's not as scary as it is pretty.
Yeah, you're right. It's a
Just
little
about as pretty as that red lip you got going on.
Woo! I know. I just felt like putting on lipstick today.
You do that so well. I'm such a
Yippic.
smudger.
No, I've
Well,
seen you
I don't
in a
know if
red
my
lip.
mom's listening to this, but I stole her CoverGirl frosty pink lipstick that I'm going to wear exclusively for a while.
Is that what you're wearing right now?
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
You see it?
I see it. I love it. Ooh, yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
That
it's too
cover
good.
girl, it's good. It's just fresh and
Yep.
I love it. Well, we're going to talk about something today that, frankly, Natalie, is not okay.
Oh.
And listeners, I don't know what to tell you guys, but just get ready because it's.
I can't believe we. Okay, so this this program comes out, teaches everything what this is, but apparently people have known what this was called for a long time, and we didn't.
Right.
And because it's also why it's called this. I know why now.
Okay, well, let's tell them what it is. So there's a series on. Is it on TLC?
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu, and it's called Frogging. PHROGGING. Frogging. For the PH. Yeah,
The
frogging.
PH. The definition of frogging, shall I?
Yes.
When
Hit it.
someone secretly lives in another person's home without their knowledge.
Mhm.
The name comes from the idea of leapfrog, with the intruder hopping from place to place like a frog, whether that be someone's basement or attic or crawl space.
Right.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
And the cover of this, when you look it up, it's a big picture of a electrical socket with an eyeball looking through it. It's terrifying.
Yes. Because, Yep.
Because but they're living in the walls of your home. I mean, this is not they have reenactments, but these are real accounts from people who have been frogged.
Yes. People.
And I mean, it's hard. Look, and I'm not laughing at these victims, but I'm sorry. It's hard to talk about frogging PH without a little, a giggle. It's just because it's so bizarre. I can't believe this has been such a thing. And the people that are being interviewed are like, I had a frogger. Did they just learn what it's called? Or has everyone known what this is?
I don't know. All I know is apparently it happens, people. It happens where somebody is living in your home and you don't know it, living in your walls, living in your attic, living in your crawl space. And they're watching you and they're taking your stuff and they're basically fucking with people.
Totally.
Sorry.
And it's just
Darren.
part of the, he wrote it down. It's part of some of them mess with you. You're welcome, Darren. And some of them don't. Some of them are actually just living there. But a lot of people, they want the attention. It's they want to scare people. They want to be all up in their shit. And you know what?
Yes.
They all up in their shit.
I know. Okay, so literally, I know. So let's just hit this off. So this is a series and there's 10 episodes or 13 episodes or something. I don't know. I didn't watch them all, but I watched a lot of them. Okay.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that, I have some thoughts. So the first
right,
episode,
go ahead.
the first episode is this family. they've moved into this house. They're in Hawaii, right? Is that the first one?
Yep.
And they start noticing things happening, right? Like,
but the common theme here is it's usually families with children, and the children are getting blamed, like things are moving around, things are disappearing, like this and that, and the parents always blame their kids, and the kids are like, I didn't do it.
Always.
How would that make you feel? Like, what would you do, Ange, if like you noticed things were and like your parents were like grounding you essentially and being like, you're getting punished for a frogger.
Yes.
Because no one knows they're getting frogged.
But frogger, like, PH.
What? Frogging with a PH. And what? But like, can you imagine that frustration? Like your parents already don't listen to you. Your parents already are like, oh, these are kids. And like they gaslight the hell out of you. But like, can you, I just like the rage I would feel
I know.
of being accused of all of these different things and they sure feel like shit later, don't they? But go ahead.
Right. So the first episode is this family and things start going missing, and a blanket goes missing, and all these things start happening. I can't get into all the details because I don't remember all the details,
and the
frankly.
stepmom is noticing all of these things, like the blanket goes missing, and then you find all these reasons.
Camera light on her laptop goes on in the middle of the night.
Yes. And you find all these reasons because the last thing you're going to go to is that you're getting frogged, PH.
Right.
But I think that she was starting to feel insane and then she felt validated because there was a blanket that went missing, and then they left the house and they came back and the blanket was folded neatly where in the den or something. And even the husband finally was like, all right, well, that's messed up.
Yeah. Something's going on here. Yeah. Finally, people start. So and then they find out that this guy is. They come home, right? And they try to open the door, and the door won't open because the guy's on the other side of the door and pushing on the door. And so the dad just basically, how does he get him out? I can't remember. Does he pull a gun on him or something? He calls 911, right? And so then the guy get the guy out.
He said he didn't want to bludgeon someone to death in front of his children.
That's right. He's like, I don't want to have to bludgeon someone in front of my children, right?
And that's actually pretty sweet.
I mean, there's a lot of these.
What a good dad.
What a great dad for gaslighting.
That would be hard for me
to
not do.
Right. And so then they find out later that this guy had all of these they went into the house and the whole house had been ransacked except for the kids' room. And the kids' room was completely clean and all put together. And then there were like all these knives lined up. And this guy was like plotting to want to do surgery on the family.
Yeah.
And he had been searching on her laptop, like ways to do at-home surgery.
Arm removal and then gender reassignment surgery.
Yes. And he was calling them omnivores or something. And he was living in this other world where he was doing this whole diary where he was reporting day by day what they were doing. And he had like details of things that were happening in their family that no one would know unless you had just been sitting there listening in closely. And it turns out that he was listening to like the mom and dad, like they were trying to have another baby. And he knew this somehow. And then he went and he tried to put on her makeup.
He did a video
on her computer.
What was it called in the real world? A video diary, but like testimonial.
Yeah, testimonial. Yeah.
And he did a testimonial like naked, putting on makeup, but showing like naked. Where I think almost it represented like the scalpel or something like that. It was very how to change someone's face.
Yeah, ew.
So also, how long? I can't remember how long he was there.
It was a long time.
He was there a long time.
No, it was like at least a month, I think.
At least.
It went on for a long, long time.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they arrest the guy.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I didn't know if you were going to tell the punch. So go ahead.
Oh, they arrest the guy. And what's the punch?
What you're doing, like the end of it.
Yeah, they arrest him, and then I can't remember what happened after that. Tell me.
Oh, are you serious, or did I really interrupt you? And you're just not. You're doing.
Didn't I? Don't remember.
I mean, I'm like Captain Interrupter. Okay, so he gets arrested, and then like he's charged with like burglary or trespassing, and then he's actually let go.
Right.
And then he does it again. He does something again. Then he goes to jail and he murders his cellmate.
That's right. Okay, yes. I knew it was something. I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's these people. So sometimes the Froggers are like this. They're totally unstable murderers. And then sometimes they're just like living in somebody's house and like
drifters,
stealing,
homeless, and they don't have,
But sometimes they're murderers. But how would you know? You wouldn't know. But here's what I was really interested about with watching these episodes. First of all, I have some thoughts. Okay.
Sure.
My first thought is, it just seems like a lot of Froggers are really conscious of toothbrushes, because I noticed that there's a lot of toothbrushes being stolen. So what's up with that? Like, they have to brush their teeth while they're up there hiding in someone's attic. I
think that's like one of the first things people notice is like
my toothbrush was gone.
Like, my toothbrush is gone.
Yeah,
and it's subtle enough to where you're like, okay, like, it's a toothbrush. Like,
I know it's weird though.
But if you don't live alone, and then I mean, it's just like, which is going to change for me soon. So I don't know if like my toothbrush goes missing when I move into Scott's, like, maybe I won't well, now I would, but different, you just don't think about that's like, it's something you have to use. You should use every day,
at least twice.
It's like a necessity for hygiene. So when that happens, and then it gets into your sweatpants.
Right.
And then it gets into your food, like food.
And
then like your 2 liter, if you're one of those people that still purchases 2 liter bottles of Coca-Cola,
right,
that goes missing because that turns into a little turlet. Okay, that starts being the toilet. They start. Right. If it's a male Frogger, it turns into a latrine. So then if you're missing a huge shopping bag, then that becomes the other turlet.
Right.
So, I mean, this is all real. This is all documented. This is like everything I'm saying is not even a joke.
I know.
Because I need you to talk we have to talk about the second episode, which this first one messed me up.
Yes, it was too scary.
But the second one really messed me up.
So the second one is
honestly, as they go on, it's kind of like you're so desensitized by episode 3 because the first 2 are coming in so hot.
They come in super hot.
They come in too hot. They should have spread it out. They came in super hot, so you're kind of ready for like the rest of the series,
right?
And some of them you're like before we talk about the second one, I just want to mention the college guys that had and then they had this secret roommate they didn't know about, that this guy lived in their basement. Yes. And honestly, they weren't even mad about it. They were just they were like, honestly, whatever. they were these like band. They were in the band, and I'm not
marching band.
And they were in the marching band. Super sweet guys.
Yes.
But they were kind of stoked because it put them on the map. They were like famous because it was on the news, and like they became like the hot guys on campus because they were the guys that had the Frogger.
They were the guys with the Frogger.
They were the guys with the Froggers, and everyone knew who they were. So that is a different, unique situation to make it actually made them popular.
Yes.
But I want you to go into the second episode because I get too upset about like the theatrics of those. So we'll talk about that.
So the second episode was this family, and they live out kind of in the country, and
Massachusetts. Don't forget that accent. Yeah.
Oh, I can't do the accent. This woman's accent.
I can't either because it was very unique, Massachusetts, but it's thick.
It was thick.
Thick.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And and same thing. Like things start happening. They hear things like going bump in the night. Like they hear footsteps and they hear things happening, and they're like, somebody's in here. Like, what is that?
And the little sister said someone was watching her sleep.
Oh, yeah. And you know what, Natalie? The other thing that occurs to me is like a lot of these people think it's a ghost. Like the first thing that everybody thinks is that it's a ghost.
I would.
That's the first thing.
That was one of my questions I was going to ask you is like, do you think before this show, would you have really noticed, or would you thought it was a ghost? Remember Moira? My ghost?
Yes, I know. You told me about Moira.
I assume Moira. I mean, now I'm like, oh my God.
It's a Frogger. I know.
A Frogger, but I didn't. But
I know.
I just never would have gone now after seeing this program. I'm like, okay, so what would you have done? Would you have assumed? You wouldn't assume Frogger.
Well, I
PH?
mean, look, I've had situations where in apartments that I've lived in, like when I lived in San Francisco. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you knew this. I used to
Oh,
live in San Francisco.
wait.
Like
You need to
yes,
talk about that on the podcast.
I know. I'm sorry. I keep
Okay.
forgetting to bring it up. But
God,
anyway,
that's so
yeah.
cool.
So, but when I lived there, like I had a situation. I was at the Red Vic, which is a movie theater in the Haight-Ashbury district, and I was waiting for the bathroom, and nobody was in the bathroom. I went in the bathroom finally, got my turn, and nobody was waiting in line behind me. And I walked in the bathroom, locked the door, and then just the water just turned on. And I was like, that's
Shit.
weird. Like it was like an old school
So it was
faucet. It was
before the
not,
automatic ones?
yeah, it wasn't one of those automatic ones because this place is like an old theater. Yeah. And the water turns on and I'm like, okay, that's weird. And then like somebody starts banging heavily on the door, like boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And I finally finish up and everything and I go out and there's nobody out there. Like everybody's in the movie. The place is completely empty. So yes, it could have been somebody banging on the door and screwing with me, or it could have been a ghost. But
Right.
it's been told that that place is haunted. I've had apartments before where I've felt something kind of ghosty in there, and I'm like, I always talk to the ghosts. Well, rebuke it, rebuke
I
it.
talk. Well, I tried. I want to be friendly. I want to get
Right?
along
Yeah,
until it gets weird, and then I have to rebuke it.
yeah. Then just consider it
But
buked.
also, so you agree with me? My first thing would have always been ghost.
Well, my first thing is not always ghost, though. My first thing is usually like, oh, it's wind, or it's
But it's never there's a human being in a crawl
no.
space
I will have to say, not that
or
there's
like
a human
between my
being in the
walls.
crawl space, but my very first instinct is that it's a person. Always. I
Are
am
you
like a
serious?
oh yes, every single time. I'm like
I
somebody's in my
I
backyard.
just started locking my doors now. Like since the
Dude,
show. I mean,
no.
no, Scott, I've
Don't
been locking them
okay.
all the time. But I just literally I live in a neighborhood where I just like come and
Yeah.
go as
Uh-huh.
I
Mhm.
please.
Mhm.
But now, like,
Oh no, I've
oh, I
always been
lock
like a
my doors.
I've been a turbo door locker my whole entire life because like our next door neighbors got robbed when I was in like elementary
Well,
school.
I feel like if I do that and I'm like, I'm not trying to flatter myself. Like I live alone. Like nobody's trying
Okay,
to get
Natalie.
up in
Just you
there.
know what? Knock
But I
wood. Just
had
knock wood here. Knock wood.
but
Knock
I
wood.
but I
Yeah.
also had Pete and he was like barked all the time. So,
Right.
all
That's
that. So
true.
I really was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But not after this show.
Well, okay. So anyway, I don't want to go through the whole thing, but basically these girls are like telling their dad something is going on in this house. And their dad works nights and he's like never there. And so he's like, girls, you're just making it up. Stop making things up. He basically gaslights them the whole time until finally what
Yeah.
happens? Like they
So he's in a closet. Like the
yes.
Frogger is like in the closet and he's shown himself essentially and he's holding a hatchet. So like
Oh
he was
God.
locked in and
Right.
like the dad saw the Frogger came out and he had face paint on and just
Oh yeah.
terrifying. He
Frogger
kind of looked like
PH.
the lead singer from The Cure, but like not as
Yes.
cool,
Yes. Yes.
And so
Yes.
he sees him, he's got a hatchet. He says, just, hold up. And he walks and he takes his girls and they lock themselves in a bedroom.
Oh
And
right.
the girl, one of the little girls runs out. And we're listening to this from the older girls. Like this is like obviously in the past. And
She
let
has
me
an
tell you something.
intense.
They are trying to get discovered on this program. They
She
are
has a
really
super.
throwing out their acting chops.
She has a
And the little
majorly
sister was
intense
the one was like, and someone ate my cupcakes.
cupcakes.
I'm like, yeah, the Frogger ate your cupcakes, but like, let's get to that's not the nitty gritty here,
Yeah, they
lady.
really get focused on the cupcakes.
I can't because she was like had tears in her eyes about the fucking cupcakes.
I
Excuse me,
know.
Darren.
Darren, so
And
sorry.
then 1845. And then so one of the daughters jumps out the window, runs to the neighbors, like through the woods. And she's like, I'm running through the woods. And as the branches are just hitting my face, like over and over again, and I drop to my knees. I'm like, get up, girl. And I keep going. And I run to the neighbor's house and I'm like, help me, please. We have a Frogger. But she certainly didn't know what a Frogger was then.
Yeah.
But it was just like, episode number 2 is very dramatic, and I think actually the network that this program is on is Lifetime, which actually makes a
Right.
whole lot of sense. But you can
Yeah.
watch it all on Hulu. Anyway,
Exactly. Yes.
so the cops go, they can't find him.
Right.
This dude has hidden himself back in this house for like weeks, and like he's still in the house, and then finally they find him, and he wasn't arrested, he left. Like they let him leave, and what happened is absolutely horrendous, and I don't even want to say it, but he goes into another home and he murders people, and then he gets arrested for murder, and so that was the end of that. But he ended up being okay. Listen, listener, this is really important. This was some dude that one of the young daughters met at the ice skating rink or the roller rink, and like
gave him her phone number.
And then she had talked to him on the phone, not knowing who he was. For months.
Yes.
And then, or it was like he was like the friend of somebody. Anyway, they never met in person. Right. And she talked on the phone all the time. And then when she'd met him, she wasn't interested anymore. She was like, oh, this isn't the same vibe I was going for over the phone.
Because he wasn't as cute in real life as he was on the phone.
Life. Yeah. So she kind of like ghosted him. And then he decided to frog her family. But it ended up that he was a massive murderer. And that, and then there are several other episodes where people don't get murdered, and like you don't like there's some like relatively chill ones, like the college one, but it doesn't matter. Like I can't, the fact of the matter is this like violation, like even if it's chill, I would still like that the trauma with that and like ever feeling safe, like this is something like these are people hiding in crawl spaces. Remember that one woman with her daughters, and he was in like this secret attic that they didn't even know about that existed.
I know.
And wearing her clothes and using the 2 liters as the toilet and all that. I mean, they do all that. They have to do that because they have to go to the bathroom. You got to go to the bathroom. But I'm just telling you. I have some other little questions. I
have some other things that I want to say, which is like, as I was watching this, I was getting so mad because I was texting you and I was like, this is like people who are on that show. I didn't know I was pregnant. Like, how, when you hear footsteps in your freaking attic,
because Ange,
do you not go up there and go, who's up there, and open the attic?
Okay, Angela. Oh, I love this. I love this version of you right now, because is that what you're going to do?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Magna PI. Are you going up there and you're going to draw your gun and you're going to be like, who's up here? You don't know if this person has a gun. You don't know if they have a hatchet. Like, why the hell would you go up there by yourself and not know if you really think it's a fucking person, that you're going to be like, okay, I don't know what's going on up there, but I'm going to march my cute, tight little buns up there, and I'm going to, with my beautiful red lipstick, and I'm going to go up there, and I'm going to solve my own case.
I didn't know that.
Absolutely bonkers.
I didn't know that there was going to be a whole monologue about my tight, cute little buns.
Well, I want to fit in the compliments where I can, where you don't expect them. Okay.
No,
that is reckless, and I would murder you if you ever did some shit like that.
Let me tell you something about me, Natalie. I would absolutely pull down the thing. And I'd be like, who is up there? Get the hell out. I would start screaming at them. I know what I'm like in a fight or flight situation. I have been in those situations. That is what I do. I'm a fight. I am not a flight.
I am like that too, Angela, but know your limits.
I would. I'd be like, who is up there?
Do that.
Get the hell out. That's what I would do.
After seeing the show, before the show, I would have said the same thing. After seeing this program, I'm like, oh, I'm running out of my house. I don't know what they have.
But I don't understand.
I don't know if there's a scalpel. I don't want my arm removed. I don't want a hatchet. I don't know. At this point in my life now, I'm a little long in the tooth to be a hero in my own house. I'm not a huge fan of the police, but I'm gonna run out of my house and let someone else
call 911.
I'm gonna run out.
I would scare them. I'd be like, "Who is up there?
Where are they supposed to go, Angela? They're in your crawl space. They have nowhere to go."
And then I would run out of my house. I would dial 911, and I would get help. That's what I would do.
If you know that someone is trespassing,
I'm just telling you,
and you're on your property, you gotta bolt. Bolt. All right. Well, that was one of my questions. What would you do?
Also, I think people like being in denial, like the lady with the dog who had the guy upstairs, and she was just like in denial in her apartment the whole entire time. I'm like, she finally admitted, she's like, now I finally saw the light, and I was no longer in denial.
Right.
I guess being in denial is easier than confronting
being
the frogger.
Afraid.
PH.
And being afraid of your Frogger PH. And I
Afraid
remember I got
PH?
upset with the ex-boyfriend who came
Yes.
in and killed her frog. Her actual frog was murdered with an F. Remember that one?
Oh my gosh, yes.
This
That's
woman
right.
was like dating this scary guy, and she had
Yes.
this like obscure and like
Rare
very
frog.
special frog with an F.
Which I thought.
And he came, and the Frogger with the PH came and killed her frog with an F. And that was his message. Is that irony, Angela? What is that called?
I don't know. I don't think it's irony.
What is that called? I know it's not. Is it kind of ironic?
It's kind of ironic. It's also kind of
it's irony.
Like, it's irony. It's like
because he killed. He's a Frogger killing a frog
with an F. With an
F.
I know. It's
what
crazy.
In the absolute hell? Now listen. I have our pit stop.
Oh, I need to take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath.
This is just taking me by.
But I want to tell you, I talked to so Mary Bogey's been listening to this. Joey Edwards, all of my friends and I, my friend Katie this weekend, we went to Heber, and Heber's like that. It's an isolated like place that my parents have on the Little Red River in Arkansas. And she was like, I was telling her about the show, and Joey had told her about it, and she was like, "Oh, I want us all to watch it." I go, I am not suffering the ramifications of the fear that's going to be involved in showing people the show because as I'm about to tell you, every time you and I talk about it, every time me and Mary, Joey, Katie, Scott, my eyeballs cannot not be large Marge out of my head when discussing frogging PH.
With a PH.
I know. But listen, it's kind of changed my life. And honestly, I think it helped me grow up a little bit.
Well, because maybe it was good that you watched it, because maybe it puts the fear
good. It was crucial. Listen, I can solve crimes with my eyes closed at this point. Okay. I needed something new to learn. And I still don't think I would be good at it, but I'm aware of it. And now I'm like safer. And I'm like not going to assume it's always a ghost or a sweet little angel.
Right. It could be.
Demons would not be in my house, okay? I love my Lord and Savior Jesus
You would
Christ.
not have demons.
I would not have a demon. I would have angels.
No.
And the angels can live, but the Froggers...
Froggers, PH.
Froggers can get frucked. See what I did there?
PH.
PH. All right. Are you ready for a little...
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
You. I'm hyper as hell with this topic.
No, it's okay. I mean, no, you've made all of the points. You've made all the points I was going to make. I mean, I don't have anything else to really say except for the fact that a lot of these Froggers, PH, are skinny ass white males.
Pieces of shit.
Saying.
Oh, it's a type.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm scared of those ones anyway.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
They're always like really bad. Anywho,
you're not good.
You ready to do a, you know what?
Yep.
Bring it on
home. Okay. Pit stop.
You're not ready for this one.
Okay.
I'm actually really proud of this one. All right.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm terrified, but go ahead.
No,
okay.
Don't be. It's very... And I'm putting you on the spot. I was going to give you a heads up, but then I was like,
no. It's better to put me on the spot.
All right.
Okay.
What celebrity would you bet would be your Frogger because it's you? Like if you had to pick one that you're like, oh, it's me. I would have this celebrity would be my Frogger because I know which one I just know which one mine would be.
Oh.
Do you want me to do you mine? Then you can go from there.
Yeah. Why don't you tell me who yours would be first?
I assure you my Frogger would be Nick Nolte.
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
I have that. I mean, written all over me. It would absolutely be Nick Nolte.
Yeah, because he would just know that it would just be too much.
He's hearing me watch Cape Fear and quoting De Niro, and he's frustrated because I'm not quoting him. And, and I didn't love Prince of Tides. I mean, I feel it would be a little targeted.
Who really loved Prince of Tides? I mean, come on.
Apparently a lot of people.
Oh, really? A lot of people did?
A lot of my mom and her friends.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not do a deep dive into that.
It's a really intense rape scene.
It's just
in that movie.
So
RC.
you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking
Yeah.
like Gary. Like for me, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
Nick Nolte, maybe Gary Busey.
Sure, but I think it's Nick Nolte.
Mickey Rourke, but I think Nick
Yeah.
Nolte. But I was going down.
Yeah, I know who would frog the hell out of me.
Okay.
And this was confirmed just a few days ago when Frank was watching something just for fun. He was watching The Dark Knight, the Batman, and
it's my favorite.
Okay, well, it would be Heath Ledger as the Joker. That would be my Frogger.
Lucky bitch.
No, he's so creepy.
That. No, I'd let him
scary.
Stay.
He's
Terrifying.
so creepy. Oh my God, he's in that nurse outfit.
Handsome. Oh, no. I love him in the nurse outfit. I think he's so cute.
Oh, yuck.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous of your Frogger.
He scared me so much.
Damn, you got a good Frogger. PH.
Girlfriend, you are.
I am so jealous of your Frogger.
My Heath. TH.
Mine's like Nick Nolte, because it would be. I wouldn't get to have.
You wouldn't get a fun one.
Have Heath Ledger as the Joker. I could maybe have Danny DeVito as the Penguin, but I wouldn't even. I mean,
you'd be happy about that too.
Don't tempt me with a good time. If he's going to stay in that character, I'm going to let him live up in that crawl space.
Well, okay. I don't know.
That makeup in this economy. Just saying.
Girlfriend, you are on fire today, I have to say.
I'm just a little hyped.
I
got a lot done today. This is me when I get a lot of shit done.
Right. You just were super productive, so you're just like on it.
No, I think I'm being too intense.
No, I don't think you could ever be too intense. Not for me, girlfriend.
Not for you.
So the other thing that I just want to say is like, there was a time in my life where I wondered, like, how do people get into their houses? Like, we still don't really know that. And so, like, a lot of things are unanswered in this series. And so people, if you're going to watch Frogging PH, just, maybe lock your doors. Maybe do a sweep of the home before you watch it.
I would check all
your windows.
Basement doors, windows. I would check, like, if you think it's like a basement entrance or like a window that can get into your basement, like,
right.
Everybody needs to be wildly thorough.
Yes.
Because now that this program's out, it's about to get real hot with Froggers.
Right.
PH.
Froggers are...
It's about to start trending.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
So also, we're doing this episode to avoid these Froggers from,
yes,
taking over the nation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they're going to do, obviously. But I wanted to tell you.
Now they know how to do it. This is like a fucking tutorial for these people.
Tutorial. It's a manual to just.
It's a manual.
It's a manual.
Sorry,
I do want to tell you one thing. Speaking of a manual that I had thought up when I was in college, when I was living with Lisa in San Francisco. We lived on the top floor of a 1920s building, and so I had this huge window on this one side. And so one day I was like really paranoid that somebody was going to be able to sneak into my window. And Lisa was like, girlfriend, they can't get in your window. There's like no access to your window at all. They would have to be on the roof. And I was like, yeah, well, maybe they would be on the roof. And then they would like go over the roof and then like swing in through my open window.
But they could.
There was no way. There was no way they would be able to.
A Frogger.
They would have to go in like
use a ladder,
Mission Impossible style.
And then that's fine. But they also could just use a ladder and then kick it off, and then make the family think that they misplaced their ladder. Oh, and they're already in the wall, so it doesn't really matter.
Right?
They're gonna be like, that's weird. We just see our ladders just like laying on the grass in the yard. We're not going to investigate because someone. Oh, I'm sure the kids played with the ladder, so they're grounded and they will be spanked because it's their fault.
It's a lot of gaslighting of children and a lot of ghosts. And really, it's just Froggers.
Yeah. So,
anyway, so that's all. I mean, everybody, just if you're listening to this, just beware. Froggers are roaming the earth and you better just watch out. It's just our PSA for the day.
No Frogger.
Trust no one. Trust no one.
Really. Don't trust anybody.
If you're
you don't really know where anybody is, like where their intentions are. Okay. Ever.
And also the cops really can't do anything because they're not really breaking any laws.
And they don't really care.
They don't really care. Right.
Sorry.
Anyway, well, we're gonna wrap it up. Happy October, everybody. We're here to frighten you.
Oh, it's going to get spooky.
Frighten you, PH.
Yep. We're going to have some pretty spooky episodes coming up. I'm really excited about.
Yep. We're definitely going to do that.
We're going to have a special guest on one about some psychology. And then we're going to have Angela's going to watch what I think is the scariest movie ever made. We won't tell you what it is.
I'm not going to tell you. We're going to surprise you for a future episode.
And she'll probably say it's not scary and who cares. But we're still going to talk about it.
That's what happens now, because now I'm like, I don't know what happened. I just desensitized myself.
Because you're one tough cookie.
I'm a tough babe with my tight buns. I think we did mention
and red
that.
lip. No doubt.
Yeah. Anywho, everybody, so thanks for the reviews. Keep on writing them. Keep on joining us on our Facebook and our social media and our YouTube and our other stuff.
Instagram.
You
and your Facebook.
I'm sorry.
I can't.
Well, some of us still use Facebook. I don't know.
What?
I like Instagram better, but anyway. Okay, Nat. Well, listen,
right, I love you.
You're really pretty.
You're
namaste
really pretty.
To you. I love you.
I love you. Namaste out of my crawl space.
Oh, yes. That's a good idea. Namaste, your best friend, PH, forever, PH.
Oh. Namaste, best friend, PH. For not frogging.
No ribbits.
Oh, no.
No ribbits. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Now, isn't that better? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave us a review and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your shows. Put Your Books Down is produced by ClantonCreative.com.